Well, hello, everyone, and this is
TexAgs Radio. TexAgs Rewind.
And it's presented by
David Garner's Jewelers.
No, the Rewind. What do you think?
TexAgs. Yeti.
Yeti. TexAgs Rewind presented by Yeti, not TexAgs Rewind presented by TexAgs. Emily Fiedler.
You held up your cup and it says TexAgs in big bold letters.
And it says in big letters Yeti, and I'm holding a
cup. Yeti cup.
A Yeti.
There you go.
We're having a good time with Emily because today is her last day.
I know. I'm so sad. I don't want to leave.
Well, you actually do want to leave. You had the choice of staying, and you're like, I'm going to take a better job. That's the facts.
That's the facts.
So what was your favorite part of the show today?
My favorite part of the show was listening to Billy talk, always.
What was your favorite part in particular about what Billy said?
The scandal about Alabama baseball coach.
That's the first thing you remembered, right?
That is the first thing I remembered.
I didn't even remember what we talked about either. We did have Billy on the show, and we talked about Tristan Jernigan. We talked about the Alabama situation. We talked about expectations, the game on the schedule that we need to be thinking about, that season-defining game. That was on the show. Schloss was on the show getting us ready for the Florida series. Brett Minnick is banged up. He gave us an update there. Also Nathan Detmer. And our QB1. His name is? Who's our QB? If this show had a quarterback, who would it be?
I feel so put on the spot right now.
Stephen McGee.
Stephen McGee? Yes.
You knew that.
I knew that.
Yeah, you meant like, because I'm kind of like the quarterback of the show.
Correct. I didn't know who to say.
I'm more like the backup quarterback.
That's a fair statement.
I'm more like that. It's TexAgs Rewind. Check it out. All right. 05, you guys won 5 games. Okay? The next year, 9-win season.
Oh.
What was different? Well, I know one of the things that was different, but what was different?
I guess we got all of our team back, so we were all 1 year older. I don't think we graduated many guys.
I see a theme here.
Yeah, so a handful of guys, and I see where you're going with it. I like this, Dave. It's strong. Now, granted, I would say that arguably we overachieved with 9 wins, probably, compared to the current roster. Right, so I think that the expectation with the current roster here is probably, I'd say, would you agree 10 wins? Like that's kind of where the bar's set right now for this program?
My mind is set at 9 just because I want 10. I need 10.
Are you going to be happy at 9?
I'll be content.
You'll be content.
I'll be really happy with 10. And obviously anything beyond that, like, let's party.
Yeah. See, I'm right there with you. I'm in that 9-10 range. I don't know where I fall. But you get the guys back, you get your quarterback back. Most of your offensive line, if not all of them, are back, right? Got really good running backs. Evan Stewart is as good of a receiver we've had in quite some time. The pieces are there. The question is, can you get it done?
How many games did you start in 05?
Was I a freshman in 05?
Yeah.
One game.
One game against Texas.
Yeah.
And it was a really good game.
Rodney McGee, come on, man.
Come on, Hot Rod.
Help us understand the kind of team that's coming in here to College Station.
Yeah, you're seeing a national championship caliber club. You're seeing the coaching staff that's been there for a while, head coach been there for a long time, and established recruiting classes on top of recruiting classes, and we're going to see a guy that 2 first-rounders probably. Friday night's guy, Braden Sproat, surefire first-round pick, kind of like you'd see we saw from Tennessee. He's not Skeens, he's not Paul Skeens, but he's probably just one slightly step below that because nobody is Skeens really. And then on Saturday they got a great transfer from Southern Miss named Waldrop that can really, really spin the baseball and elite breaking pitches. He has a chance to be a first-rounder this year. And then on Sunday, we'll see a sophomore lefty. I guess somebody told me they considered him the Shohei Ohtani of college baseball. He goes up to 98, 99 miles an hour left-handed on the mound, and he's hit over 20 home runs at the plate. So they have their center fielder is going to be a first-round pick in Wyatt Langford. And then their shortstop, Rivera, is just an elite player. So just what you'd expect. The University of Florida, a lot of great players and an established, successful program that's won a national title. But you still got to strap it on and play the game. So it's never about the best team. It's only about the team that plays the best. So we need to go play clean baseball. They do. Some of these guys have some walk totals. So if we can get some guys on base and get a big hit, then I think we can hang in there with them. But we're going to have to pitch with them, that's for sure. You can't spot this team runs and base runners, or you're going to get bloodied pretty quick.
Nick, I know you and I were kind of talking about some different topics we want to get into this morning. You were asking me. I'll let you ask it.
Yeah, so kind of just looking over the A&M schedule, and it's kind of hard to predict wins and losses, records, stuff like that. But just looking at it a little deeper, I asked you what you thought might be the season-defining games in the 2023 schedule, so we can kind of dive into that. I'll be interested to see what you think.
I'm going to give you multiple answers. Keep that schedule up for me. I'm going to give you multiple answers. All right, first off, I don't know. Because to me, season-defining games are defined by the season that you're having, right? Because I can tell you right now, Alabama, right? But what if A&M is got one loss? They lost to Bama on October 7th, but that's the only loss they have heading into LSU. Well, to me, the season-defining game can be that LSU game. Or did they come from behind and beat Tennessee on the road? So, I'm not giving you the right answer that I want to give you. I'm not giving you the right answer. But I think season-defining games are actually better done in retrospect, right? And we can look at 2022 as a season-defining game. And I think many people would say Appalachian State, because that was basically the game that defined the way the rest of the season went. You can't say Miami. You can't say Arkansas, right, last year.
Could say Mississippi State. Couldn't really say Florida because, half the team was gone.
But the Florida game, actually, what? The Auburn game, to me, encapsulates how bad the season was.
Yep.
Had no offense. You lost to a bad team with a worse quarterback situation than you have. But to me, the game that defines the season is actually better suited for after the season. But if we're talking about this season in general, and which we are, I look at that and I struggle with a couple games. Because I could say Auburn early on, and I forget who we had on the show.
Brandon Leone. Yeah,
Leone.
That was going to be my thought. Is I kind of agree with what he had to say yesterday. Just the first SEC game, game last year definitely left a bitter taste in everyone's mouth. So if you can get off on that 1-0 SEC start, you're looking pretty good. But I'll hand it back to you. If
the Auburn game is the season-defining game, then what kind of season are we having? I want to ask you about, before we hit a break, we hit a break here in about 2 minutes. Tristan Jernigan, the linebacker, big get from Mississippi.
Well, not very big per
it went backwards.
247. Yeah. They just dropped the dude in the rankings right after he commits.
That's ridiculous.
And I'm sure there's some BS reasoning behind it, but it's really wild to see how quickly that happened. I love the pickup. I think his stock's going to go way up. You watch his tape. He's got good size. He can run. He'll hit you. He chases. He's an SEC West linebacker. He's a dude that's either A&M's going to have to hold him off, hold other teams off to keep him. He's that good. I'm telling you right now. His stock should go way up, and I can see why DJ Durkin took a very hands-on, personal approach to get him and prioritized him in a big way out of the state of Mississippi. He's one of those guys that I think his stock will go up even more so, where you're having to fend off some of those programs we just talked about. But if that wasn't the case, he'd be that guy that's at Ole Miss and Mississippi State that's just a complete stud. And you're going, why didn't anybody find him in Mississippi? But I think he looks more like, a guy that will play up a couple levels. So A&M will have to fight and hang on to him, but I think they'll have a good chance. He seems pretty excited, pretty fired up about the decision, and I think Durkin's got a really good relationship there.
Fiedler. So I always say your name for some reason.
You always do. You always add some kind of tone to it.
I don't know why.
It makes it more fun.
Okay.
More exciting.
Well, make it fun. Give us a tone and tell us what to do after a YouTube video.
Like, subscribe, and comment.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Repost it. Share it on Instagram.
And everybody tell her good luck. Everyone in the world. Thank you for watching.